As I often say, music is the direct communicator to the heart. So thank you very much for communicating so beautifully. All right. I'm actually out here. I'm supposed to warm up the people that have arrived for the talk. But, so are you already still warm? Are you warm enough? Okay. Because I can do a tap dance or something. I don't know. Is there anybody here from another Unity? We like to acknowledge people that show up from another Unity. I know quite often they travel a long way. But nobody today. What about, is there anyone here for the first time? Just raise your hand if you are and raise it high. We have a gift for you. Okay. And as I said earlier, that you are here by divine appointment, whether you have acknowledged it yet or not, but you are here by divine appointment seeking. And once you are chosen by the grace of God to involve yourself in spiritual transformation, you will never leave it. You can't. So welcome to this really beautiful spiritual talk you're about to hear that's going to continue to move you along on your journey to the enlightened place of love.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Unity of Boulder. Everyone here who's joining us in-house and those who are joining us online. We love spending time with you each Sunday, so thanks for hanging with us. I've got a few announcements of a bunch of upcoming events here at Unity of Boulder. We are going to have a Qigong workshop April 6th with a true Qigong master named Francesco Garipoli. We only get this guy about once a year. It's only $25. It's on a Sunday, April 6th. It goes from 1 to 2. At $25 for this hour, this is a bargain. This guy is a master. Definitely check that out. Today, our open source spirituality group, that's our 18 to 30-year-old group, is going to meet at 12:30 right in the bookstore here. And then they're going to go on a hike up in Chautauqua. You don't have to sign up for it. It doesn't cost anything. You just show up in that room at 12:30, and then everyone heads on out to Chautauqua for a hike. So definitely check that out. It's a great group. I want to remind everyone that we have started a Kundalini yoga class every Friday that takes place right here in Fellowship Hall from 11:30 to 1 p.m. It's $13 or $10 for seniors. You just drop in. You don't have to sign up for it. There are even cheaper prices if you buy a pass, a 10-punch pass. And one of the neat things about that is the Kundalini master that's teaching at Rigpa is donating her time, so it's essentially probably our most relaxing fundraiser for Unity of Boulder. So definitely check that out some Friday, and that's just ongoing. Easter is coming up, and the way we're going to do Easter this year is we're only going to have one service, and that's April 20th. We're going to have one service at 11 a.m. You definitely don't want to miss out on it, but if you would like, you won't need a ticket or anything like that. All you have to do is 11 a.m. on Easter Sunday. Just show up on in here. Bring anyone you know who would just like to see a good show. If you would like to join the choir for that show, we're going to be starting practices next Sunday following the 11 a.m. service. All you have to do if you would like to join the choir is just come right up onto this stage following next week's second service. And we're just going to start practicing each Sunday like that. This Friday, we have our Sound Circle experience downstairs. That's in the meditation room, and that's led by Rebecca Abraxas, who many of you know. She's often our musical guest. It's $35. It's this Friday at 6:30. And if you had any interest in joining our Polishing the Mirror by Ram Dass book group, you still can sign up for that, even though it started earlier this week at a discounted price of $10 off. And last but not least, do not forget to join us following this service in Fellowship Hall for our potluck. Even if you didn't bring something to share, still just come on in and sit and hang out with us. All right, thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Unity. This is the point in our service, which is a call to prayer, where we invite you to participate and write any names down on the piece of paper that's provided to you in the front of the pew. You can write their names down. You don't need to say what the issue is. We know that the universe knows what they need before we even ask. And really, this practice is about us aligning with the power that lives within us to merge in energy with whoever is dealing with something and becoming that power and that light and that love to immerse into them and to heal them in whatever way, mind, body, or spirit. This is Steve Sheets, and he'll come down and he'll collect those names down this aisle. Then he'll bring them to our prayer box, where they'll be prayed over for 30 days here at Unity of Boulder, and then they'll go off to Unity Village and prayed over for a continued 30 days. So thank you, Steve. And he's the head of our prayer partners, so he'll be praying with people at the end of the service as well. But we invite you to sing with us. They say to sing is to pray twice. So let's leave the world outside these doors and just come in the presence.
May the long time sun shine upon you. Oh, love surround you, and the pure light within you. Guide your way home. Now you know it. Sing with us. May the long time sun shine upon you. Oh, love surround you, and the pure light within you. Guide your way home. Guide your way home.
I can hear you singing. Beautiful. All right, we're going to invite our entertainment club up, and we're going to lead you in a joy song. Let's all stand up, get some energy in our bodies. Let this be a spiritual hour for ourselves, where we gift ourselves this time to just reflect and contemplate the Spirit of God that's within us and all that love that can overcome any discord in our own lives and in this world. And we are a church that dances, so we can dance and feel this incredible band lead us. Here we go.
Creator can move the mountains, bring good to all that we see, to all that we need, as close as every breath that's taken. We feel the light beaming through. It is guiding our way.
Two more times, I'll do it.
Creator can move the mountains, bring good to all that we see, to all that we need, as close as every breath that's taken. We feel the light beaming through. It is guiding our way. Creator can move the mountains, bring good to all that we see, to
While you're standing, let's say thank you, God, for this beautiful day. And turn and meet one another and say thank you, God, for you, and get each other's names.
And now we'd like to welcome to our stage today's musical guest. If you've been coming here for almost any amount of time, you will recognize him as Robin Morrison right here. He was the Unity Band pianist for over 20 years, is that right? Yeah. 27, something like that?
Something like that,
So
yes.
you might recognize him. So, but go get it, Robin.
You know, I know they've got written on there, I know why and so do you, but actually I'm doing Shenandoah. Shenandoah was written in the 1850s, somewhere in the 1850s. And there's been many, many versions of this song, but Connie Dover's version is the one I love the most. Oh, Shenandoah, I long to see you. Way, hey, you rolling river. Oh, Shenandoah, I long to see you. Away, I'm bound away across the wide Missouri. For 7 years I've courted Nancy. Way, hey, you rolling river. No other girl would suit my fancy. Away, I'm bound away across the wide Missouri. She would not have me for her lover. Way, hey, you rolling river. But I never courted any other. Bound away across the wide Missouri. One day she went to Kansas City. Way, hey, you rolling river. And there she had a little baby. Away, I'm bound away across the wide Missouri. Oh, Shenandoah, I loved your daughter. Way, hey, you rolling river. Though she'll never cross your shining water. Away, I'm bound away across the wide Missouri. I'm bound away across the wide Missouri. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Larry. Wonderful way to start. So good morning, everyone. Good morning. I like that. I like the animation in that. Good morning. Yes. All right. Well, today's talk title is A Sacred Journey into Oneness with God. This is a time of reflection. We're invited to draw closer to the divine, to feel the presence of God in our lives like never before. God is with you. As the veil between this world and the eternal thins, we discover the sacred within us all. In this week's talk, we will explore deep transformation that happens when we allow God's love to awaken us. With hearts open wide, we will reflect on the beauty of the life that we already have, the mystery of the divine, and the intimate connection we share with Spirit. The journey of Lent is not just a physical one. We're in the second week of Lent right now. It's a deeply personal and spiritual awakening. We are going to go into what Lent really means and what the process is of eliminating the things that are the smoke screens that keep us from deeply feeling our relationship with Spirit, God, Source, whatever word makes you feel that divine connection of that oneness of all of us in that divine and that ethereal realm that is always guiding us on our way. So we have entered the second week of Lenten season. This sacred time offers us a chance to reflect, to realign, and to awaken to a deeper connection with the divine. As we embark on this journey, we find ourselves called not only to reflect on the external practices of fasting, prayer, and study, but also to embrace the deeper personal journey of transformation that is at the heart of Lent. Unfortunately, I wasn't here to lead you into the first week of Lent last week. I'm attending school, and I'm in the middle of finals right now, so while I'm here today, I will not be here again next Sunday, but then I will be back here for 6 weeks straight, so you can count on that. I know I've been in and out, but I'm tackling a lot of things right now, and I'm stepping in, man. Everything is appearing in my life. Everything I've worked towards is finally upon me, and it's all happening at the same time. So I'm stepping in, and that's really what the Lenten season is about. It's, the veil's thinner, and in everything you've dreamed for, or you've placed a seed into your consciousness to grow into that which you're feeling called to do and be in this world, in whatever expression that is. It's a time of listening deeply and preparing to step into the vision you've been holding as it's appearing, and not shying back and getting nervous or doubtful when it does appear, and to put on that warrior heart that steps in without knowing the known of where it's going to take you, and trusting, and having faith in this greater wisdom that is always in the midst of who we are and always in the midst of our divine unfoldment. So it's really a talk about that. So today I invite you to ask yourself, what is God awakening within me this season? The journey we are on during Lent is not just about giving up chocolate or alcohol or the things that are destructive, or love, to multiple loving relationships, just the things that we have a pattern we tend to run to not feel. There's so much going on in this world, outer world, and so therefore, obviously, there's a lot going on in our inner world. So it's very natural to have vices to soften the blows of this human spiritual experience right now. And so what this 40 days is asking you to do is to become very naked and raw, energetically. And if that means you have to kind of stay away from toxic people or stay away from circumstances that will overwhelm you, maybe it's a time to turn your TV off and not look at what's going on in the world, and really let this be a cocoon of love and an embracement of this beautiful soul that you were put here to do and be, and watch how you take this time of, you might think of it as a sacrifice, but it's more like a fast of the things that you know have been telling you need to stop and you need to reflect and you need to check in on, to just, it's just 40 days. And we can do anything for 40 days, right? And we're already one week's gone. So I encourage you to try that. You know, maybe if you're chocolate-aholic, it's chocolate this time, right? Or, you know, overly driving places when you could take your bike, maybe take the bike. You know, it's just the small things. But most importantly, we're reestablishing our relationship as a divine being in this world. And we're eliminating the limitations that are not of our soul and that aren't of our spiritual involvement, right? We're really getting rid of that. And the negative talk that talks us out of maturing and becoming the greatest versions of ourselves, right? So the journey we are on during Lent is not just about giving up chocolate or taking a break from social media. It is about releasing what no longer serves us and creating space for spiritual renewal. It is about aligning ourselves more deeply with the divine presence and experiencing the profound transformation that comes from letting go of distractions. That's really it, letting go of distractions and embracing the deeper flow of life. You know, the preparation of this, and obviously in Unity, it's more of a metaphysical process than the actual Christian process where we're getting ready for the Easter ending, where it's, you know, Good Friday, where we recognize that he died on the cross and then he resurrected on Easter morning. And the message is that he died on the cross for our sins, which in Unity is not how we look at that at all. The death of Christ on the cross is about the world coming after love and light, right? That authentic beauty, beautiful being that the darkness wants to overrule, right? So he dies on the cross, which represents us. We die to old programs and old parts of our being that no longer serve us. That's what the Lent is about, is letting go of the old, limited aspects of us that we've grown through time because on some level they've made us feel safe. They've made us feel their stories that have protected us and padded us from the hardships of life. And so this Lenten process is letting all that go and recognizing how powerful and how strong we really are at the soul level when we can stay in that light, to stay in that love, to reflect that light and to reflect that love in this world. And if we can't do that, then to stay away from people. Start participating as God in this world, as God in your own world, right? How would the universe talk to us? So I wanted to go to a Bible passage that's always touched me. It's from the Old Testament, but the whole Bible, when you look at it myotically or metaphysically, they all break down into the same story over and over again. But this is the Bible passage I'm going to share with you today. Jeremiah 1, and this is his calling to be a prophet of God's love in this world. And it says this: the word of the Lord came to me saying, and he's saying this, that he had a vision basically. The word of the Lord came to me saying, before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart. I appointed you as a prophet to the nations. Alas, sovereign Lord, I said, I do not know how to speak. I am too young. But the Lord said to me, do not say, I am too young. You must go to everyone I send you to and say whatever I command you. Do not be afraid of them, for I am with you and will rescue you, declares the Lord. Then the Lord reached out his hand and touched my mouth and said to me, I have put my words in your mouth. See, today I point you over nations and kingdoms, to uproot and tear down, to destroy and overthrow, to build and to plant. And that last part sounds a little heavy, and the Bible is very emphatic when it's trying to get a point across. But when we look at it through the lens of the myotic process or metaphysics, you recognize that that's all a loving process, and I'm going to talk about that right now. So all the lead characters in the Bible stories are about us. So Jeremiah is us, okay? So he is the one that's been called by the Lord, okay? And when we realize that in every story, that you'll notice that we're called to do something great, do something that scares us, do something that we feel is beyond us, right? And then you watch the process of doubt set in the wording that's going on, and the universe is saying to him, I've put my words in your mouth. You don't have to rely on your own understanding. You only have to rely on thy understanding. When we really, really get this, it's about faith. It's about having faith that every single thing that's happening in our life is a divine unfoldment. And there's many paths, and there's no wrong path that you're going to go down. But the most divinely inspired one is probably the one we should choose. And usually the most divine inspired one, we know it's that one because it scares us, because it frightens us, because it stretches us, right? It's calling us to do something really divine, right? So you heard me talking about the term maieutic, and that's a way to break down Bible stories. And this is what maieutic means. The maieutic method means relating to the Socratic method of eliciting knowledge through interrogation and logical reasoning. It originates from the Greek word maieutikos, meaning of pertaining the midwifery. Socrates famously used this method, comparing his role to that of a midwife, helping others give birth to their own ideas through guided questioning and exploration. Guiding others to give birth to their own ideas through guided questioning and exploration. So that's how you make these stories be our story, right? And when we can do that, the Bible becomes extremely fascinating. It's extremely inspiring. And it really is awesome. Like when I treat a Bible most often like opening up to just a passage and letting the universe show me what I need to read. And so, more than not, I end up crying because it's so pertinent. It's so synchronistic to what I'm needing for a get-me-up, a reminder that the universe is in and through everything in us, as us, right? So the maieutic 3 steps go like this. What is happening in the text or story? How is the text story happening around us? Right, so we bring it to the here and the now. And the next part is, how is this a story? How is this story my story? So if we look at the history of the time that Jeremiah was called to be the prophet of God, Jeremiah lived during a tumultuous period in ancient Israel. Let's listen to this because we're making this our story, or your story. It was marked by the decline of Assyrian Empire and the rise of the Neo-Babylonian Empire, culminating in the destruction of Jerusalem, which represents peace, the destruction of peace, and the Babylonian exile. So we can look at the story, and what's happening in the story is that there's major turbulence in the world. Can we relate with that? Right? Okay. So when you bring yourself to be the character in the story, Jeremiah, which is you, being called to do a great work in this world during this time. So not only is it tumultuous and it's hard to see everything that's going on in the world, we've been placed here divinely to be called to be that which we are here to do and be. And there's no more time for us to be afraid or doubt that process, right? And then we think about those words early in the Bible passage where it says, the word of the Lord came to me, saying, before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart. Let's just feel those words. Like, do you feel the love of that? To feel that the universe formed us and knew us, and also set us apart, which is not about specialness, because specialness can create separateness. It's saying that you've all been made unique and perfect as a perfect attribute of what's needed in this world. And our callings aren't all to be spiritual leaders. Our callings are to be the greatest version of what God created you as that special something. It could be computer engineering. It could be whatever it is. It's your special calling, and it's you actually answering the call, okay? So now let's look at it metaphysically. And metaphysics is what Unity usually uses most. Metaphysical refers to concepts or ideas that go beyond the physical world and address the fundamental nature of reality, existence, and being. It often involves questions about the nature of consciousness, the mind, the soul, and the universe that can't be easily explained by science alone. All right, so here we go. I'm going to break it down. I'm going to read the passage, and then I'll read the metaphysical breakdown. And just think about, keep asking yourself, how is this my story? How am I doing this to keep me from answering the calling? Like all of the above. Here we go. The word of the Lord came to me, saying, before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart. In the metaphysical interpretation, it implies a pre-existing divine awareness of one's unique destiny, even before physical manifestation, suggesting a profound connection between the soul and the divine plan. So can we get that? So we're taking that in, we're taking it into spirit right now. So there's a divine energy to you. They say we're spiritual beings having a human experience. We're stepping back into spiritual being right now. I appointed you as a prophet to the nations. A prophet is one who receives the inspiration of spirit, understands spiritual laws, and imparts it to others. Who does that as often as they can? Understands spiritual laws and imparts it to others. Alas, sovereign Lord, I said, I do not know how to speak. I am too young. This signifies the initial struggle against perceived inadequacy and humbling need for divine guidance in the face of a divine calling. So how many of us do that, right? So we hear, I can't do it, I'm too young. Whenever you see the doubt moment, it's going to be said in many different ways, but what it basically is saying, I doubt myself. I don't see myself well enough in mind, body, or spirit, or in thought or intellect. So I keep living small in a shell because I'm not ready to expand into the unknowing rawness, nakedness that it feels when we truly decide to be the adversaries that we're being called to be and do in this world. And you might not do it today, but one thing I don't want you to ever leave my talks is to beat yourself up because you didn't. All I want ever for anyone that comes to this center is to leave here loving yourself more and seeing where you have doubt and seeing where you have limitation and bringing more love to those areas of your life. Deepening your relationship with this self and loving yourself and knowing thyself. This might be too far along right now for you because that's really the journey. At the core, we at first have to love and like and know thyself. But the Lord said to me, do not say I am too young. Metaphysical interpretation says, embracing your divine purpose. The verse may also symbolize the realization that the divine is calling us to step into our life's purpose or mission, regardless of how unprepared or young we may feel. Spiritually, youth or inexperience is not a barrier. It's our willingness to listen to the inner voice of God and trust in the process that matters. Trust in the process. This is building faith. Who trusts the process? Who isn't feeling like they're trusting the process right now? You know better. She's too cute. She just reflects pure love in this world. I love it. The universe will test this during these phases to see if we can stay true to our divine unfoldment. And as we are feeling closer and closer to God, as we're really, really participating in this unfoldment, there will always be little things that come out of nowhere to see if we can stay in this place of trust and faith in the universe. It just keeps deepening and deepening our understanding of our relationship with this greater something. So, what it's really all saying when it comes down to is we are lifting out of the dark days of winter, a time of introspection, and a season for inquiry of what is needed next in our divine awakening. So this is a time that we reflect on the winter, right? We see this beautiful summer coming, spring coming. That's why I have a whole spring background going on right now, to really just be enchanted by nature and how beautiful the spring is, because it's the rebirth, right? But we have to reflect on what we contemplated this last winter. That's why they're the short days when you think of solstices and equinoxes and honoring the seasons and how they come and go. The dark days are about being within, being with self, and really cherishing the things that you're seeing that have grown from the last year, and also recognizing the broken, limited pieces of ourselves which we're ready to step out of, to finally let it leave our beings and our bodies and step in this spring as a new form of the spiritual being that you are. But we first have to reflect. What came up? What was the overarching conversation you were having with yourself through these winter months? I know one of mine was, because I've been saying yes, and I've been stepping in consistently for about 2 years right now, and it's hitting a pinnacle right now of, I've said yes to a lot of things, and I have to trust and have faith that I can be all of those, all of it, right? But this winter, I would find myself burdened because it was so much. And I'd find myself talking to my husband about it in the morning, like, I don't know how I can pull all this off. And all it was doing was creating such a sense of I can't pull all this off. And then I realized, oh yeah, these words are disempowering the very thing that I'm so prideful in myself that I decided to step into. So I'm no longer going to speak this hardship to anybody else. And I'm going to get excited and be grateful that I have the capacity, I have the intellect, I have the time, and I have everything I need to keep stepping into everything that's being called of my divine unfoldment and awakening. And I found myself extremely peaceful in the last 3 weeks. Even though the pile has gotten bigger, for some reason I'm riding a wave of flow. And I'm not pointing out all of the places that things are coming up. But I will be honest, because you know me, I'm not going to BS you here. There's little things that happen. And this one thing happened this last week. And I didn't really realize it while it was going on. But I had an hour on Friday, and I was just sitting and reflecting on this last week. And when I thought about the situation, I had a laugh that was so hard. I wasn't talking to anybody, but just the way the universe is there's humor in it, and it does test you, and it's like, and I had such a laugh of like, oh my God, you couldn't script this in a movie, how this happened. So this is what happened. I have to do a live talk for one of my finals 3 times this week, and it has to be exact, but I can't read it, right? So you can imagine how stressful that is, because we've got notes, and we got bullet points, but this has to be completely off the cuff, same talk, memorized, and have all the emotions, you know what I mean? So pressure cooker, beyond. So I've written the talk, and I've been working on it for over a month and a half, and it's on my calling, right? So obviously I'm sharing the Bible quote that I'm using. And this one morning I said to Mike, I have to just read the talk and see if it's 10 minutes long. I have to make sure that it's within the 10 minutes, because the last time we had tested, it was 12 minutes. And I was going way too fast. So I'd cut some fat off of it. I'm finally ready. The house has been quiet. I'm in a bathrobe. I'm waking up where Mike's like, ugh, I'm on. I've got stuff to do. I don't have time. It's probably 6 in the morning. And so he goes, he's got a timer. He's got a stopwatch. And he goes, 3, 2, 1. I start reading the talk, and I'm, trying to have the emotions in it and keep it within the 10 minutes. It's not 30 seconds before I hear the pounding of 2 teenagers coming up the staircase, up into my space. They get the dogs all wrestled, so they're all screaming and yelling at the squirrels outside. This place has erupted into a volcano and a bomb. And I'm trying to keep going because I don't want to have to read the other 2 pages that I'm already at, and I'm trying to do it, and I hate their guts while I'm sitting there doing it. You know what I mean? So it's that. And I hated their guts in that moment, because it's just why, God? You know what I mean? When you just don't have another thread to handle. I share this for the humor, because the universe will test you, okay? All right, get through it, great. It's too long, so I have to cut the fat. The next morning, I asked my husband, I need you to time it again. It's as quiet as a mouse in my house. 3, 2, 1. This time, it's not 10 seconds. I hear Tyler going up the staircase. He's already wrestling the dog. But this time I stop and I blow a gasket that nobody's expecting. And my son's like, whoa, whoa, because that's not me. But it was just like, you've got to be kidding me. Like, where's my sacred space? Where are my boundaries? I'm trying to be super mom, super minister, super wife. Like, it's just, okay. So I'm sharing that just so you know, I am human too, having a spiritual experience. So when I reflected that on Friday, I could not stop laughing, because what is that timing? I mean, you couldn't make it happen twice in 2 days, 2 different times of day, and it was the same situation. And it's like you just could see the universe going, oh, let's see if she can hold it together with us. Right, so we have to laugh at it because, it is what it is. So Lent traditionally has been a time for fasting, prayer, and study. Practices that draw us closer to the heart of God. But in a world full of distractions, it's easy to miss the deeper invitation. The true power of Lent is not just about eliminating things from our lives. It's about awakening something far more profound within us. There's a process happening in each of us during these 40 days. A process that moves us from dormancy to awakening. A process that opens us up to second sight, to an inner knowing that we have long prayed for. To an inner knowing that we have long prayed for. And this inner transformation does not always require dramatic external change. Sometimes the greatest change happens in the quiet, hidden parts of our heart. As we eliminate physical distractions, be it from food, substances, or even negative thought patterns, a new clarity begins to wash over us. And that clarity is the breath of life, the breath that restores us and draws us into a deeper union with God. So I'm just going to take us into an inner contemplative meditation and see if we can bring this into our cells of our body and to our beautiful minds, and bringing our mind in the union with God as us in oneness, and remembering the pace and the beauty and the love of Spirit moving effortlessly through us and making our lives even better than they already are. So I'm just going to have you close your eyes and gently take a deep breath in and exhale slowly. Maybe let the tension of something that came up in this talk today to just release it and melt away. You don't have to figure it all out right now. You've listened and you can let it go now. And it will slowly, the pieces that are important for you will come back to you, and the pieces that are not will fall away. Feel your body grounding into the earth below you, supporting you with strength and stability. Now take a deep breath in through your nose, holding the breath for a moment at the top, and exhale out through your mouth, releasing all stress and tension, letting go of anything you don't need right now. As you breathe, begin to visualize a warm light beginning to form above your head, glowing softly like the early light of dawn. This light represents divine presence, wisdom, and guidance. As this light grows, it starts to flow gently down through your body. Feel this light entering through the top of your head, washing over your face, neck, shoulders, and arms. With every breath, it moves deeper into you, relaxing your body and calming your mind. Now feel the light moving down your spine, softening and releasing any areas of tension. Let it flow through your legs, all the way down to the soles of your feet. You are completely immersed in this divine light and completely at peace. Now I'm going to ask you to imagine that you're standing at the edge of a great expansive field. In front of you, a path stretches out, winding through the land, leading to an unseen destination. This path represents your unique journey, the calling that you were meant for in this life. Notice you feel a presence beside you, guiding you like the comforting hand of Spirit, telling you that you are not alone. You are being called for a divine purpose, and today, this journey begins. Now take a moment and ask yourself, what is my calling? What is the purpose I am meant to fulfill in this life? Allow any insights to come gently, without pressure, without judgment. Simply listen. You might not have all the answers yet, but trust that you are being guided. Trust that the light that surrounds you is leading you toward what is next. Say to yourself, I am worthy of my divine calling. Say to yourself, I am empowered to speak, to act, and to create. Say to yourself, I trust that I am supported by Spirit in all I'm called to do. Now see yourself walking along this path with each step. You feel more confident, more aligned with your purpose. The path may not always be clear, but you trust that every step is guided. And as you walk, you begin to see people around you who need your gifts, your voice, your love. You are stepping into your calling, speaking truth, and offering compassion. You are empowered to be a beacon of light for others, just as you have received divine guidance. Take a moment to feel the energy of your calling. Let it fill you with warmth, with purpose, with divine power. Know that you are equipped, you are ready. Spirit is with you, guiding your every move, your every word. Now in this moment of stillness and connection, ask yourself, what do I need today to move forward on this path? What guidance do I need? What do I release to make room for my highest good, my highest purpose? Let's take a deep breath in right now. And as you exhale, release any doubt, fear, or uncertainty. Feel your body and soul aligned with the divine plan for your life. Stay with this peaceful, empowered energy for a few moments. Know that you are always guided, always supported. The divine is with you, and you are always on the right path. When you're ready, begin to bring your awareness back to the present moment. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Take another deep breath in, feeling refreshed, renewed, and connected. And when you feel ready, gently open your eyes, carrying the peace and empowerment of this moment with you. And so we say, Amen. I'm looking for a slide right now, the affirmations for close. Do you see that there? My thing's not working. And maybe it's not meant to be, right? This is flow. No, it was said affirmations to close. You don't see one that has like a guy with a light coming out of his chest? Yeah. So the affirmations that we're going to hold to take with us is, I am aligned with my divine purpose. I am empowered to take the next step on my journey. I trust the guidance of Spirit every day. I am ready. to fulfill my calling. I can't wait to watch it. Blessings.
We will take an offering for unity now. As we're getting ready to do this, let's realize how blessed we all are to be involved in this journey, which is the most important thing any human being can be involved in. The journey to this higher, beautiful level of awareness. And those of you that are watching live stream, I suggest to you, why don't you send something in? Send a check, or you can use the QR code you see on the screen to donate to Unity of Boulder. That's what will keep the truth that we share here flowing out and reaching as many people as we can. And every now and then decide to come on into the physical church here in Boulder again and share with us. And we'd appreciate having you. Everyone here can bring into their hands that gift they'd like to make to Unity of Boulder, and we'll bless it with this offering prayer. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive, because I give. And so it is. And we have the opportunity once again to listen to Robin share his amazing music with us. Go to it, Robin.
Thank you very much. We had a birthday celebration yesterday. I wasn't there because the birthday celebration was in San Marcos, Texas. But my mom turned 97 years old yesterday. And I do occasionally like to play her some songs from the 40s when she was a teenager. And that's why I've got this one here. It says written by Glenn Miller. Actually, Glenn Miller performed it with his orchestra. Somebody else wrote it, but hey, that's okay. Why do robins sing in December? Way before the springtime is due. And why are flowers growing even though it's snowing? I know why, and so do you. Why do breezes sigh every evening, whispering your name as they do? And why have I the feeling stars are on my ceiling? I know why, and so do you. When you smile at me, I hear lovely violins. When you dance with me, violins. And when you dance with me, I'm in heaven when the music begins. I can see the sun when it's raining, hiding all the clouds from my view. And why do I see rainbows when I'm in your arms? I know why, and so do you.
Thank you, Larry. All right, we have prayer partners available to you. I mean Robin, sorry, Robin, thank you. Appreciate that. We have prayer partners available to you after this service. They're standing up over here. You can just stay seated at the completion of the service, and they will come and pray with you in the sanctuary. I won't have my discussion group after this service because we're going to have a potluck afterwards, and we've got plenty of food. So if you haven't brought food, you can just join us anyway. It's just a nice way to have community. You can still sign up for the Polishing the Mirror co-ed class and the women's group. That's taking place on Tuesdays at 6 o'clock, and you'd have to sign up today, though, in the bookstore. And choir starts next week after the second service for Easter. All right, let's all rise and circle up, and we're going to sing Let There Be Peace on Earth, and so you'll circle around these center pews on the outskirts. And we'll hold hands if you feel comfortable. That little dog just cracks me up. All right, here we go.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as we love, family all are we. Let me walk with my family in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let it be all and now. With every step I take, let peace be my joyous love. To taste and live in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
And they say a spiritual center that dances together stays together. Here we go.
I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm holy. Yes, son. Only here for God.